Okay, so it was 2003, and I was a purple belt at the time, and I was training quite a bit, so I was pretty good. And it was a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, and it was just kind of an open mat. Like the owner wasn't there, the instructor wasn't there, and it was unsupervised. Let's just put it that way. And like I said, I was a purple belt at the time, and I don't think there was any browns or black belts there that day. So there was nobody around who was, telling me what to do, so to speak. And there was a kid there who was maybe 13 or 14, maybe 15, I don't know. And he was, I want to use the term noodle-armed, sounds like a a-hole thing to say, but the kid didn't have a lot of muscles. We'll just put it that way. Maybe that's why he was here, to build up some physical fitness. But he wasn't, clearly he'd spent his whole life playing video games or reading books or something. And, I don't think he could even do a push-up. Anyway, I got it in my head somehow that this kid, even if he had like a full-on rear naked choke on me, that I could probably find my way out. That he probably couldn't. I could just use the muscles of my neck to save my own life or whatever. Which, as you might imagine, is a terrible idea. So anyway, I let this kid go around behind me, and I'm like, put on a full rear naked, and I'm pretty sure I can get out. And thankfully, there was a friend of mine, this guy named Matt. He was there. He was a blue belt at the time, and he was watching. So the kid puts this full-on rear naked choke on me, and I'm just using the muscles of my neck to just resist. I'm not even trying to get away. I'm just thinking I can stop you from rendering me unconscious just by flexing my neck muscles. And he's going, and I'm flexing. And the next thing you know, I find myself sitting at my desk at work. At the time, I was working at a radio station writing advertising. Anyway. So here I was sitting at my desk at work, and I'm thinking to myself, well, this isn't, just a moment ago, I was at a jiu-jitsu club with a kid choking me, and now I'm sitting at my desk at work, and I look up, and right in front of me is my Jeep, and I'm like, and this isn't right, because my desk where I work has no windows. How am I seeing my Jeep? And then it occurs to me that I am unconscious, and that somewhere in the real world, I'm being choked, and this kid is and I'm in my little dream world or whatever. I'm thinking, I'm having kind of a panic attack. I'm like, oh man, how am I going to get back to reality and save my own life? Because this is not, sort of reminds me of the movie The Matrix, but doesn't involve computers or robots or whatever. Anyway, and then I wake up and I'm behind the kid, because I had been kneeling and the kid had been kneeling with his, and I wake up and I'm now kneeling behind the kid. And I say to my friend Matt, I'm like, what happened? And he says to me, well, this kid had this choke on you, locked on, and you seemed like you were totally calm and your eyes kind of fluttered. And then you did this kind of cool move where you kind of slid down onto the mat and then kind of did kind of like a spinning back roll, and you came up behind him. And I was like, man, I was unconscious. I was just having a dream that I was at work, and my Jeep was in front of me and stuff. Anyway, the good news is I wasn't choked to death. The bad news is I was nearly choked to death by a kid with no muscles on his body whatsoever. So, what's the moral of the story? I guess don't let people choke you. And if they are choking you, tap. Don't just... And if you're doing something stupid or potentially stupid, I guess have someone supervising. But I guess that's the plan B moral of the story. But the plan A is don't do stupid stuff, man. Oh, man. And also, I guess, the other moral of the story is jiu-jitsu works because I was pretty in shape. I was a good purple belt. And this kid, it was his third day or something, and he just put me right to sleep. But luckily, I guess depending on who you ask, luckily here I am, and still doing jiu-jitsu. And I have no idea if that kid is still doing jiu-jitsu, but I'm telling you, that's a persuasive argument, isn't it? That you can, or maybe it freaked him out, I don't know. In retrospect, it kind of freaks me out, I'll tell you that. Anyway, see you next time.